Well, I could go on and on and on about how much I hate Veilguard and think it's the stupidest thing ever from Bioware, a gaming company I didn't actually mind back in the days of Mass Effect and the Dragon Age games. Now, I didn't really play the older Dragon Age games, but I always kind of felt like they were a redundant version of Skyrim. I bought them on sales. I played a lot of Origins. I don't know. I did do it, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that Dragon Age Veilguard is everything fucking wrong with modern gaming. I mean, it's just the deeper you look into Veilguard, the stupider it gets. And they obviously used all the talent at BioWare to come out with this bullshit. Now, if you recall this past summer, there was the reveal trailer that was overwhelmingly hated by the gaming community at large. And who could forget the self-described gendermancer, the person who actually made this game? And oh man, has there been rife amounts of controversy for Veilguard Online, with basically every post being briganded by people who expressing their overwhelming disdain for this game that on its surface level is just a very meh linear RPG. But in reality, Dragon Age Veilguard's problems go even deeper than the utter bullshit political messaging they're trying to put in it. Number one, to me, it just seems like a hodgepodge of UI elements and purple effects blowing up everywhere, and the fact that they've nerfed some very important features of the game that I think is a fucking dumbass design choice. They got rid of the open world to make the story tighter so that they can push more nonsense political beliefs on you. And in general, I mean, what we've seen so far is nothing groundbreaking. And I think basically what you have here is a linear story RPG. I mean, the gaming community in general just does not feel as if they are comfortable with the fact of this shit being pushed in video games nowadays. And you know what? When they take a company like BioWare, who has also already struggled with hella bad, 5, 10 years, the general consensus is this is gonna be the fucking goddamn tombstone for BioWare. And YouTubers and influencers are very quick to jump on the bandwagon for a free copy of Veilguard and hundreds of thousands of views to pretend like it's actually a good game. But actually, what we have here is not a good game. It's a game that took all the asset artists and programmers that made our beloved BioWare games, split them in half, and came up with this garbage. I mean, for fuck's sakes, the turmoil at BioWare must be palpable right now, with people just wanting to keep their jobs to work in game development, but being like, why did you make this story so cringy and retarded? And every single Twitter post on Veilguard is full of the same type of bullshit you see in these types of things. Is that people just overwhelmingly don't really like this shit and they don't want to be a part of it. And the fact that they came up with that grotesque top surgery part in the character creator means that there's just an overwhelmingly uncomfortable feeling towards this game, and all the gooners have jumped in its defense to try and save this game. But the attention towards Dragon Age Veilguard has been lukewarm at absolutely best, with it nearly getting ratioed on today's launch trailer, a very lukewarm 15,000 likes in total, and every comment section being littered with the same type of garbage where there's two sides. There's people who absolutely despise it like I do, and there's people who will relentlessly come to its defense as if some white knight to swoop in and own the chuds. And look at how sad this is on the official Twitter page of Dragon Age. Only 2.7 likes on the announcement that there's only 1 week till Dragon Age. You'd expect a game of this caliber to have hundred thousands of likes, but no. Veilguard's posts are hilariously unliked, and the attention and views that it gets are just absolutely spectacularly bad for a game releasing in a 1 week AAA from a renowned studio, and it's gonna fucking fail miserably. But don't expect to hear anything about it because, as we all know, these games, just like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, can come and go and fail miserably, and they just look around going, "Oh, we don't know what happened. We made the gayest game ever, but why didn't people buy it? Duh." I mean, the graphics are serviceable, and obviously, people who are competent in making video games and digital technology worked on this game. But under the rule of a tyrannical gendermancer, I mean, you're just bound to get a stupid fucking story and all kinds of horrible, stupid wokeness and references to that. I don't want pronouns in the game. I don't care about that. I don't think it's a very a purposeful thing. I think that pronouns don't make any sense, and why we even people have them doesn't make sense to me. So to have that in a video game, especially a fantasy video game, is fucking hilarious. On the surface level of game, outside of all the wokeness and bullshit that they're going to decide to put into this, this is really a poor man's Baldur's Gate, because there's simply no reason to play this over Baldur's Gate 3, a stellar and fantastic game that was just released and is now getting more support than ever for mods and the such. Do you want to play that, an incredibly renowned experience, or this, just a slop thrown together by a bunch of people who don't really care about video games? They just want to push political messages on people. I think most people are going to still play Baldur's Gate 3, and it'll be spectacular if Veilguard even comes anywhere near close to what Baldur's Gate 3 gets now on even a daily basis. So get yourself ready for Veilguard, because it's never going to be another woke fucking disaster that will be hilarious to laugh at for a couple weeks until you get the same old thing weeks later saying, "Oh my god, it's everyone's fault that fucking Veilguard failed and it blah 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 and everybody's all terrible." And this game is absolutely dead on arrival, and fucking rip BioWare for making this garbage. So I'm the type of person who kind of goes against the grain and say, I don't need to play this game. I think it looks stupid, and I know it's going to be full of all the shit I hate in gaming. So I don't need to play it. I have plenty of amazing fucking games to play, fantasy RPGs included. They are 10 times better than this game, and the only fun we'll really get out of Veilguard is watching it fail and all the twinks going absolutely buck fucking wild on social media. You know, I legitimately thought that Mass Effect 2 was an amazing game, and to this day, I remember back of fond memories of it. It was just a cool experience, but it's very clear that the same people that crafted and made up this magical space adventure had absolutely nothing to do with Veilguard. And like we're seeing so many cases in the gaming industry, it's been infested and absorbed by some type of investors and activists that want to infect and invade the gaming industry, shit all over it, puke it out, and make us play their shit. But unfortunately for them, there's a huge roster of video games to play. Not just the games coming out, but gaming from 20 years ago, where we could just go back and play and have a beautiful time. We don't have to play their new garbage. We always can go back and play amazing games. This game clearly was made by a bunch of people who hate the modern video game industry because they've made a dollar store Disney ripoff of an RPG. And you know, everything with it just looks so cheap and so mobile title that it almost looks like it's just asking for your credit card information. And you know what? Some of the more uncomfortable issues, like the top surgery scar thing, is just ultimately going to turn so many people off of this because it's just a very uncomfortable topic for them. And having that in a game makes the game uncomfortable too. And you know what? Like, they really fucking wasted the talent on this, because just think of how awesome you could have made this this game. They seem to like to just take things away from us in the modern game, and you know what? This is probably going to be similar in quality to a game that came out during the Xbox 360 era. And you know what? It's going to be great to see Veilguard fucking fail. So I guess the best news is that Veilguard's rated 17 plus for mature because we certainly wouldn't want our kids playing such a game and being indoctrinated with God knows what. You know what? I think that on Halloween, what a lot of people are going to be doing is playing a cheap, stupid looking RPG with a whole bunch of political messages in it. Yeah, that's what everybody's going to be doing on Halloween. So I hope BioWare enjoys its fucking abysmal sales because it tanked its stupid company again. And you know what? Honestly, if they would just hire me, they could make way better games than this bullshit. And they wouldn't have to fail and get the financial loss and embarrassment that this game is more than likely going to bring.